name is Sam. Welcome into Stam Studio Network tonight, bringing you some championship race action. Penny Pleasers Cup, it has been a ball throughout this whole season. Now we bring it down to the final race. Got the championship for drivers for little pre-race interview action before we get things all kicked off here tonight. If you haven't already, be sure to like. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button as well as join in that YouTube live chat. Maybe put in your picks to win. Going to start with Angel Delgado, our points leader. We only have to talk about points for 4 drivers here tonight, and you best believe we got the driver cams up here tonight. Going to start with Angel. Angel, welcome up here into the booth, and do you have a copy?
Yes, I have a copy.
And thank you for joining us here tonight and coming into the championship race. What's your mindset here like tonight, man?
Honestly, I mean, win or lose, it's been a great season. Obviously, would love to win the championship. Just got to see how the race plays out. But, with the long runs, the tire savings, one of my favorite tracks on the service to do so. So hopefully we can bring it home.
Man, we have seen it all season, the old long run in that number 90 Ford Mustang. How have you kind of been preparing for this race, maybe compared to a regular season event?
I've taken this one a little more serious. I've put a lot more thought into this one. Even though it's, a one and done type of thing, it's an important one, the most important one of the season so far.
And one more question for you before we get going to leave. Jeremy Pienta will be up next. What has been the biggest moment of your season that's kind of got you to this point, if you had to pin it on anything?
The last couple of weeks have been really, really good. I mean, from where I was start of the season, where I was thinking I wasn't even going to make the playoffs, to eventually points leader going into the final race. Never would have thought that would have happened about halfway into the season. So the past 3 races have been awesome. I took this off week really well to get my mind right and make sure we bring the best car for this race at Homestead.
Well, thank you so much for taking here just a little bit of time with us before the race. Best of luck for you here tonight, Angel Delgado.
Thank you.
Moving on to Jeremy Pienta. Jeremy, I see you're out there on the track. You got a second here?
I could talk and drive if you need me to.
Oh, heck yeah. We would love you to. Appreciate you coming out with the driver cams here tonight. What's on your mind heading into this championship race?
Survive. Try to be up there at the end. That's my ultimate goal.
Oh, it's going to be a handful here tonight. Going to be a pretty long race. Kind of walk us through, how are you handling the nerves knowing what's all on the line here tonight?
Oh, I ain't nervous at all.
Oh, okay.
I've been in bigger races than this before, so I'm ready for what gets thrown at me.
Well, thank you, Jeremy, for taking here just a few moments of time with us. Going to move on to Sam Litchfield and Christopher Rosca right before you guys get kicked off into qualifying.
Alrighty.
Sam Litchfield, we see you up here in the driver cams. You got a copy. Oh, is Sam?
Oh, sorry, my
there
mic
you
was muted by accident.
Oh, all good, man. No worries. Are you ready for tonight? What are the keys here to success at Homestead other than just running that high line?
Just doing my thing. That's what I'm gonna do. Can't really control the rest.
Yeah, just going to have to keep the car clean, kind of like Jeremy was saying here. I know you guys are getting kicked off into qualifying. So I'll let you guys get going here pretty soon. Samuel, best of luck here to you tonight. And is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
My dad for watching this, and God for letting me do this. Let me have all this racing shit. Sorry, shouldn't curse. Yeah.
No worries there. Appreciate you. Number 22 taking a quick moment before qualifying. Best of luck to you tonight. And we see Rosca in the driver cams. He's ready for his interview. Rosca, you got yourself a copy here.
Yeah, I got a copy.
There we go.
Muted.
Christopher, it has been quite a season, and if you win today, man, what would this all mean to you personally as well as competitively?
Well, I've had my eye on the title since race 1 at Daytona.
Oh, I love it.
Started out here, I was confident I was going to win races, and I haven't done any of that, but I've just gotten really lucky these last couple races, realistically starting at Watkins Glen. Or, no, starting at Martinsville, getting really lucky with drivers not showing up and getting the points I needed to barely sneak another round of 8 and then barely sneak into this Final 4. But if I take it home, we're going to celebrate like there's no tomorrow. And I got big plans for MRC for next season. So bringing in 2 new drivers as well as 3 returning ones, and be a lot of fun.
Chris, this is going to be a lot of fun. Also up here in the booth, watching you take it to the Homestead High Banks. One more question for you before you get to qualifying. One word to describe your mindset heading into the green flag here tonight.
I'm nervous. And I've been nervous since basically I woke up today, and because there's a lot on the line, $200 to win the title, and I am by far the underdog out of the 4 of us. So I've got my work cut out for me. I'm going to try and get that high line rubbered up, use that high line, get the momentum, and just see how far I can get this 0-0 up towards the front.
Well, thanks for taking a quick little pre-race interview, and best of luck for you here tonight in the championship race.
Thank you. Have fun in the booth.
Thank you, Chris. Take care, man. Alrighty, so welcome again here to Homestead Miami Speedway. If you're just now joining us, we were just given a little pre-race interview to the top 4 championship drivers. Sorry, I was trying to do a little work here behind the scenes. It's always fun multitasking. I know we're going to have Adam, WXFan21, join us here just a little bit later up here in the booth. It's qualifying, just 2 more minutes left to go. This is going to be what the whole season has boiled down to, quite frankly, and we're racing at the correct championship track. This is Homestead Miami Speedway. We got the old 1.5 miles. It looks very similar there on the track map, but these 2 turns vary completely from one another. Got their turns 1 and 2. You can kind of use the bottom just a little bit more, but turns 3 and 4, you want to drive the car just a little bit deeper there, but if you drive it too deep, that wall will get you there on exits, and the wall is where the speed is here tonight at Homestead, especially in the longer runs. Great night for racing, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 75% humidity points here in the Florida Everglades, partly cloudy, 6-mile-per-hour winds. It's me, Sean Sam, here once again up in the booth. I will be producing, commentating everything behind the scenes. Got you guys there in the YouTube chat who are pretty much the directors here tonight. If you don't like anything that you see, or anything that you like what you see, please let me know below. We got Adam here, the Green Phantom, Zipper, Mason Sams. Lots of fans here for some drivers. Harold Delgado rooting for Angel Delgado. The Rosca Cam, this is Colin. Wish I could be there tonight, but currently at the Chicago airport, says Colin Grace. Appreciate you joining us here in the broadcast. Appreciate you, everybody, joining us here in the broadcast. Just 20 more seconds before we can finally get these drivers to the grid. It looks like Angel Delgado right now has the fastest lap time with that 3,000 iRating. This is what the whole season has boiled down to. We're going to take a quick little ad break before we get things kicked off here on SSN. Alrighty, welcome back here. We got the 1.5 mile cookie cutter here for championship night, and we will take a look at the starting grid. A little bit smaller field than what we're used to in the Penny Pleasers Cup, brought to you by W Energy. If you're ever feeling just a little bit tired, be sure to visit W Energy's website as well as their Instagram. Got some excellent flavors, keep you up and running. Angel Delgado will slap it on the pole. Samuel Litchfield, also championship driver, will be right there beside him. Jackson Brown, our one Canadian buddy here tonight, not in the championship 4, but puts it on P3. Christopher Rosca, another championship driver. Jeremy Pienta, got Riley Ibanez, Travis Farmer, and that's believe we'll round out our drivers here tonight. Showing Sean Stam, that's myself, as well as Daniel Selway. Little bit of iRacing, a little mishap behind the scenes, and it's on their end too. That's been every league I have broadcasted for here recently. We are finally getting drivers here to the grid. Here we are. You see the very familiar paint scheme, the breast cancer awareness of Angel Delgado, his Ford Mustang number 90 DL designs on that quarter panel. Samuel Litchfield, the NASCAR Technical Institute number 22 Ford Mustang. Jackson Brown, got 2 money lion schemes here tonight. Christopher Rosca, Jeremy Pienta, Riley Ibanez, and that other money lion paint scheme at Travis Farmer, going to round out the field in his Monster Energy number 9 Chevy Camaro. Just waiting to get engines fired off here. Matter of fact, looks like we are going to get things just about ready to go here. We got all the cams on all the drivers here on SSN, and I appreciate once again everybody joining in here tonight. Got some newer paint schemes and some newer places. That looks like a newer Microsoft paint scheme for Christopher Rosca's number 00. I cannot wait to get this kicked off, and once again Adam, the old co-commentator, will be joining us here in maybe about halfway through the race, but you're gonna be stuck with me, Sean Stam, here up until then. I will treat you to some crank it ups until then. This is what the whole season once again has boiled down to. Our championship 4 drivers: Angel Delgado, Jeremy Pienta, Sam Litchfield, and Christopher Rosca. Who takes the $200? 200 big ones here tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway. Updating the old YouTube title there, because that was something I wasn't too sure if it was actually going to take place or not, and yet here we are. Heard it from forget who it was that mentioned it there in the pre-race interview, but yes, we will have $200 going to the championship race, or the championship season winner here tonight, Angel Delgado. We are in the Geico restart zone. Field is in your hands. 2x2 headed into turn 1. You're going to want to keep these cars clean if you're in the championship 4. Already contact, and we already have a car spinning. That's Jackson Brown, able to somehow gather that number 12 Ford Mustang up. No harm, no foul. Angel Delgado still going to continue to lead us here into turn 3. Travis Farmer goes down the inside of Christopher Rosca. Christopher making the high line work here early at Homestead. Normally this is a line that comes in later in the race, as well as right up on the boards. But we are moving and grooving, completing lap 1 under green. That's a great start here to the season ender. 2 wide here, back behind Travis Farmer, Riley Ibanez, Christopher Rosca. Christopher, once again, one of the championship 4 drivers, and here comes that momentum down the top lane. If you do run that top line here at Homestead, the closer you get to the wall, the more the air is packed on the right rear quarter panel. You get even more of a better run off the exit. Christopher decides to run the bottom line this time here, top on exit, and that's going to present Riley Ibanez right there to the inside again, that money lion Ford Mustang number 2. Angel Delgado slowly pulling a gap here on Samuel Litchfield, but only by about 0.2, 0.3 seconds. Definitely not running away with this race by any means so far. We're hopping on board with Samuel Litchfield now. Working that steering wheel, getting just a little bit closer here to Angel Delgado, just by about just a tenth of a second or so, as he continues to close the gap back down the backstretch. Here we go into turn 3, completely different turn, as it does visually look the same, but you have to drive it completely different. Both drivers tending to wrap the bottom. Here we go for Samuel Litchfield. Continues to get just a little bit closer to that number 90 of Angel Delgado. Looking at Jackson Brown here, he is running right here behind Christopher Rosca, trying to pass him for P5. If you're a driver here, if you're not in the Championship 4, I wonder if you race these other drivers here just a little bit differently. Do you give the Championship 4 drivers just a little bit more room than you would maybe these other drivers you racing here tonight that aren't in the top running for the $200 tonight? I know I have my answer, but I'd like to ask you guys there in YouTube chat what your answer would be if you're behind the wheel. And Sam saying the Larson line, most definitely so. Adam there saying joining Sean mid-race, good luck, have fun. Definitely will, Adam, and I appreciate that everything that you have done throughout this season. Gonna get that just a little bit later because could not have been done without you. Jackson Brown here's trying to run down the inside of that double O if Christopher Rosca doesn't get the run off the exit, but he's continuing to stay right there with him. Gonna look down the inside here once again into turn 3. Doesn't really shove it down there, but he's gonna get at least quarter fender with him. Matter of fact, be there on exit side by side, and this is going to end up hurting both of these drivers' momentum. Jumping back on here with Jeremy Pienta, that number 77. He is fighting Travis Farmer, and shout out Travis Farmer. You have been square through the whole season of not only Penny Pleasers Cup, but my own season, excuse me. GT4 versus NASCAR. We're actually going to round out the season next weekend, or this coming weekend at Watkins Glen. Saturday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Travis going to look up top here, not run the boards just yet. But he's going to have the run here off the exit as we saw earlier in the race. Jeremy not moving up to really side draft that number 9 too much. Call that Travis Farmer up to P3. That's a really nice run for the number 9 here tonight. Keep it up, Travis, as he continues to try and reel in Samuel Litchfield, one of those Championship 4 drivers fighting it out for 200 big ones tonight. Angel Delgado up to P1. Oh, I don't even know what I would do with $200 off of a championship victory. Makes me almost want to get back behind the wheel here. Now, this is special here for Angel Delgado. I think he mentioned this earlier in the season. This is a shout out to his grandma with this Breast Cancer Awareness DL Designs number 90 Ford Mustang. And well, if you can win a championship with that, could you imagine the screenshots, the feelings, well, also the feelings that would come with that $200 win? That'd be pretty special. And you know it. We definitely have the driver cams here tonight. Got really our top 4, our 4 running in the championship here. Angel Delgado, who we're looking at here, he is on the top left of your screen. Christopher Rosca giving us a little smile there. The top right driver cam. Jeremy Pienta, he came into this race with lots of confidence. A little Shador action like what I'm seeing. And Samuel Litchfield, the number 22, is in P2 right there at bottom right of the screen. Riley Ibanez looking like he's had a little bit of an issue on his own, but we're going to keep things green here. Oh, that was hard contact. Let's take a look at the replay, see what happens to that number 2. Thing into turn 3, it looks like. Ooh, he's going to scrape the wall. That's going to be, I think, the start of all of this, and then it's just going to get loose underneath him. Oh! Oh my goodness, I hope he is okay. Let's hop on board with him this time. Oh, look at how much wheel input he was putting in that car. He drove it in way too deep, just not off the throttle. Tries to downshift it even, get to the pits. Oh my days, look out. All right, one more look because we're going to see the part springs, the front bumper fly off of this Brad Keselowski-esque number 2. I know he's in the 6 now, but yeah, look at this thing. Reels as far left as they can go, and boom! Hard, heavy contact for Riley. No caution, though, thankfully. We'll keep things out. Angel Delgado now up to 0.7, almost working a 0.8 second gap, and we have a really good battle brewing here, That's other Money Lion paint scheme, and also Travis Farmer. That's Jackson Brown here right in front of him. Looking out the back bumper of Jackson Brown here, that's Travis Farmer and Christopher Rosca. It's by no means is anybody out of this race, let alone the championship for the $200. But if we do have to start running into some green flag pit stops, if these fuel does start to dwindle on these race cars, I really wonder who has practiced their green flag pit stops the most, because sure, Angel Delgado could have a 1.2 working on a 1.5 second gap on Samuel Litchfield, but if you're Sam, if you get on pit road just a little bit better than your counterparts of Angel Delgado or Jeremy Pienta, even Christopher Rosca, those other drivers up there in the Champ 4, that could possibly be worth $200. Jeremy Pienta right there with them. As things start just to get single-filed out here just a little bit, I think you probably had enough of my voice already. I will treat you to a quick Crank This Puppy Up, brought to you by Sam Studio Network. I'll be right back up here in the booth. Alrighty, crank it back down. This is Sean Stam back up here in the booth, coming to lap 23 out of 165. If you're just now joining us, first of all, thank you. We got $200 here on the line tonight, and the battle for P2 is starting to heat up here between Samuel Litchfield and Jeremy Pienta, two of our drivers that are headed for that championship running, as well as the 200 big ones. Appreciate everybody joining us there in YouTube land. Got Harold Delgado, Mason Sams there. Yes, it is most certainly Harold Delgado. Oh, almost a little contact as I'm trying to take a look at YouTube chat here. Jeremy Pienta down the inside takes a little squeeze action there from Samuel Litchfield heading into turn one. Still side by side, and this is just slowing these drivers even more. Oh, we are banging bumpers here just a little early on for that. They're going to continue to lose out speed on Angel Delgado as that gap is now 4.5 seconds. Jackson Brown getting closer as these guys continue to side draft one another down the long straights here at Homestead Miami Speedway. At this point, if you're Jeremy Pienta, I like what you did there. You're not going to run in the dirty air, that dirty wake of that driver there in front of you, of Samuel Litchfield 22. As he washes up on exit, there you see it again. He avoids that wake on exit, drops back down the track, and now has a run here heading into turn 3, liking what I'm seeing out of the 77 Subway. Chevy Camaro, as that 22 is going to climb the hill this time by. Still continuing to lose out time though, and Jackson Brown is coming with a head of steam behind these guys, still side by side into turn 1. Door quarter not clear just yet for Jeremy Pienta. Still trying to hold off Samuel Litchfield here as Sam tries to... He's in the slipstream here down the straightaway. That's what you want. But here, once again, in the corner, not really going to want to run right behind that driver in front of you, as the car will just get super tight. No grip. Ask me how I know. Ran these Gen 6 cars here for quite a duration of my iRacing career. Moved on to the old next gens here now, and it's completely different with the underbody, the diffuser, the front splitter. I mean, you could keep going on. The independent rear suspension. That's about what I'll stop at there, but the line's really not changing here between the Gen 6 and the Gen 7 NASCAR. These drivers still running the bottom. It's at this point 26 laps on these tires. I would definitely be looking at migrating to the top of the track. Still haven't seen it out of any of Jeremy Pienta or Samuel Litchfield's lines. Also the leader, Angel Delgado, with his 3,000 iRating. Still running the bottom line, but opening up the exit just a little bit more. Liking what I'm seeing out of the number 90. Vermont, Florida. Not sure where that is relative to Homestead, Dade County, Miami. But could be a little Homestead action race here for the number 90. Also, know it's that paint scheme, it means quite a bit to him there. So even... if he's able to keep this race up, keep this pace up, it's going to be quite a celebration for the number 90. Real quick, like to thank the sponsors, Lumit Motorsports, Short Track Racing Podcast. Of course, Race to Stop Suicide, something a little bit more personal to me. Just means the world. If you could check those guys out. W Energy as well. Can't be here without any of you guys. Daniel Selway, if you're listening here as well, I know you've done so much there behind the scenes. Hopefully you are feeling just a little bit better yourself. Cannot forget Hewling the Bueling at Cowser under race control for quite a few of the last few races, as well as I think he's up here tonight, or is that Daniel tonight? Correct me if I'm wrong, but thanking both of you, as well as our co-commentator, WXFan21. He will be here with us about halfway through the race. Appreciate him and everything that he's brought to the booth here this season. It's been quite a whirl, quite a bit of fun. As here we're going to have quite a bit of more action on track. Christopher Rosca, these guys have been kind of side by side the whole race. Finally, Christopher looking down the inside, possibly a little bit of tire management going on for that 00 Microsoft machine. Still looking down the inside here, but it's going to hurt him on exit as he's got to compromise when he gets back on the throttle just a little bit later. Don't slide up here into Jackson Brown. He doesn't, holds it low, but loses the spot back to him. Still side-by-side battle. This is our only side-by-side battle out here on track, and we've seen it throughout the whole race. So far, each of these drivers has lost a spot here since the start, but Christopher Roscoe, you got to remember, he is one of our championship 4 drivers. He is fighting for that 200 big wins tonight. Got to be careful where he places his machine, places his blocks, and that was quite a slide up there on Jackson Brown. Able to make it stick, though, in that 0-0. Come on, boys, push, says Mason Sams. It's west of Orlando near Disney World, says Harold Delgado. I appreciate that. That's a little bit of research that I won't have to do under caution. And speaking of Mr. Delgado, my goodness gracious. This is what I like to see. I'm right there with him on iRating, just about 3,000 as Angel's going to blink out. This is why we have now cut to the blimp cam. Is okay, he comes back on track. We have to keep this in mind here, folks. iRacing has revamped what happens if you start to blink out just a little bit too much. That's, I believe, one of their packet loss newer updates. That's where if your internet starts to blink out just a little bit too much, or you don't have as good of a connection as iRacing is looking for, they'll pull you down to the pits. It won't kick you completely out of the race. But that's just something to kind of keep in mind. That was quite a long blink out. Hopefully no more internet issues, because once again, I guess I can stop mentioning it at this point, but that's a lot of money riding on one race for just 4 drivers. And if it comes down to just a little internet issue for the number 90, hold your hands up, put them out, get that signal extended, whatever you need to do for Angel Delgado, but it looks like his signal has retained its strength. Up in Jeremy Pienta, our biggest mover of the race, the 77 Subway Camaro. That's is a familiar scheme that we have seen from Jeremy throughout this whole season of Penny Pleasers Cup, brought to you by W Energy, DL Design, Short Track Racing Podcast, and of course myself, Stam Studio Network. That's a similar paint scheme that'll help the spotters and the broadcast booth. Samuel Litchfield drops back to P3. He started P2, so only -1 spot to where he started. Here he comes back on the outside. Little contact, and he's gotten to get in the wall. Almost takes out Christopher Roscoe with him, but if we don't get a caution, that is a lot of aerodynamic damage for that 22. He is just watching $200. Oh, he's got to bring it down pit road. It's a little early in the running for a fuel stop, but he could possibly make this work. But we're gonna have to take another look here and see what just transpired between these 2 drivers going out for that big prize money here tonight. So this is Roscoe on the bottom of the hill. We got the 22 up top. Roscoe's drifting up the hill, makes contact, and then the 22's wheel just immediately cuts right. Is able to hang on to it, though. I wouldn't have blamed him, though, if he tried to send that thing around and get a caution to come out. But, my arms are itchy. If you know there, Clint Boyer. Let's take another look there, and I think the 0-0 is just washing up the racetrack and made a little contact with that double deuce. Here we have it, runs up and above even the seam there on exit out of 2, and that's really all it's going to take. And watch the wheel cut immediately right for Samuel Litchfield. Oh no, Samuel Litchfield still into the pits, not going to be happy. Samuel, if you're listening, I would be interested to get a little AMR post. What's it called when they exit the midfield care center? There you go. That's the words I'm looking for there. Samuel. Message me or something there, say something in YouTube chat, and I will be sure that we get a word with you. Make sure that your wrists are okay with some hard contact after that contact with the outside safer barrier. Gaps continuing to grow here. We got Jackson Brown, the first car lap down, his number 12 Ford Mustang. A little Brian Blaney action going on. Exiting here, turn 2, heading down the long backstretch. We've got those palm trees on the back straightaway, and believe me, you see that there in the car. That's something that starts to kind of show itself here just in you're 40 laps here in this run. Samuel Litchfield still into the pits, and see if we can get a better look at his damage. Oh, that right front destroyed. NASCAR Technical Institute. That's one driver down, 3 to go in the championship running. Just going to boost your odds here for Christopher Rosca. Now we're seeing it here. This is, well, it may almost make sense. Angel Delgado, Jeremy Pienta, Christopher Rosca. The top 3 are the 3 left remaining in the championship 4 battle. This is what it's come down to throughout the whole season. Got a little 8-9 second gap going there between P1 and P2, and we can compare the lap times between them. Matter of fact, let's do it now. Well, that's why Angel Delgado is not running the top line. He's continuing to gap him, and you have that information there. These black boxes available when you're back behind the wheel of these cars, and well, there's just quite frankly no reason to push the number 90 at this point. Continuing to gap Jeremy. Rosca had he was about 1/10, almost 2/10 of a second faster lap 39, but all those, or at least the 4 other laps that we see there on the comparison, a little bit slower for that double O of Rosca. Travis Farmer, we are comparing to Christopher Rosca here, and Travis, he's been quicker on those lap times by a second each lap, possibly newer tires Travis is 40 seconds back, so possibly a little pit stop and on some newer tires there. I'm missing this. This is my favorite track here, especially, in the Gen 6. I ran so many laps here. Love this car track combination. And, well, I also love the crank it ups that we're able to get. We'll treat you to one more here on Stam Studio Network. It looks like Christopher, no, Christopher's going to stay out here. Jeremy Pienta, though, he is going to make his way in here. The crank it up is going to have to wait here in just a few moments' time. Jeremy Pienta, the first of the championship 3 to come down pit road and get their service. Should be 4 Goodyear Racing Eagles and a packet full of Sunoco Racing fuel. Made sure to stop on the mark. We saw didn't need to catch reverse and back up in his pit stop. These green flag stops, although these cars are just about 8, also 10 and then 40 seconds apart, it's each going to come down to, well, how smoothly you are able to get on and off pit road. And if a caution does come out, when does it come out? Does it end up screwing your strategy? Just it all gets down to the nitty gritty. And look at that. We're already on lap 45 out of 165. It's amazing how fast racing can tick off these lap times when we run under green. Angel Delgado makes his way down pit lane now, just coming out of that pit exit, making his way into turn number 1. Rosca is going to retain the lead at the moment, going to have a 20-second gap, and we're going to have to see where this cycles out as... What was that? I hope that... I think I was just... Okay. I'm sorry. The world's biggest mosquito I'd ever seen just landed on my arm up here in the booth. And I know we're in Florida, the swamp, but, well, here we go. That's what I was going to compare to before I started getting vampired by the world's biggest mosquito. Christopher Rosca, unfortunately, going to lose that 1 lap lead that he had there to Angel Delgado. Jeremy Pienta going to come around Christopher Rosca as well as Travis Farmer. Makes his way around that double O. He's still down there on pit lane. Now making his way back around to the slow exit around 1, exit turn 2 here. Going to see that blue line, the blue cone. Make sure you don't exit too soon because that will be a black flag. Keeps it low. There you go. You can get up to speed now. All right, so now that's the championship 3 at pit stops are taken care of. I think now time for another SSN Crank It Up. I'll be right back with you up here in the booth. Goodness, what battling we have here between Samuel Litchfield, unfortunately down many laps, so in 7 laps down. He's still taking it right to the outside bumper of Jeremy Pienta in that second spot. As Jeremy now able to pass the 22. Not sure if you're too big of a fan of that for Jeremy, saying get out of my way, got places to be, but with that gap, 12 seconds, I'm not sure I can get there really any much quicker. I mean, I will notice, in that Crank It Up, we did have Angel Delgado once again cut out for just 2 or 3 seconds, but you see that behind the wheel. iRacing flashes that up on your screen, and it's, even though with the 12-second gap, it starts to get there on your mind just a little bit, at least it would me. And another thing I've noticed with the number 90 is he started to finally use that higher line here into turn 1. We'll see if he does it this time. It at least opens up the entry. Yeah, it gets a lot closer to the wall. Here we go. Not still running the boards just yet, but running kind of the middle higher line, I would call that. Still able to pack way more air between that right side and the safer barrier, and that's where the speed comes from. He's going to wrap the bottom here, turns 3 and 4. Can kind of overdrive the car compared to turns 1 and 2 here, 3, 4, but you got to be careful on exit. That wall will sneak up on you. Looks like he's keeping his distance as Angel Delgado, and we'll see here once again, does he get even higher up here in turn 1 and 2? Liking what I'm seeing, and that is how you're going to start to make even more lap time. 12-second gap and growing back to the number 77 as Jeremy's running the bottom. Thinking better of that high line, rightfully so, as he's trying to push his Chevy Camaro just a little bit harder, I bet, than Angel Delgado. We'll see what Jeremy runs here, 3 and 4. Tries to get that right seam to hook up there on the right front and right rear tires. Makes it happen. I like the exit there out of that number 77. Nice run so far, able to keep it up and keep the gap steady. with Angel Delgado. Travis Farmer is in P3, up 4 spots since the start of the race, and although he is not racing for the 200 biggins here tonight, he's having himself a great run. Like I was saying earlier, my GT4 versus NASCAR season, he's had a great run in there as well. He runs the GT4 class, and it's good. It's so much fun to go wheel to wheel with him, and hopefully maybe a little off-season races. Not sure what Daniel or Hewling has planned here for Penny Pleasers Cup, but I would love to get back behind the wheel, go side by side with you guys, as I've seen it all season, kind of know the driving styles, and would love to race you guys. There's been a couple races, believe me, throughout the season, or that I have ran here with PPC, both hosted as well as that North Wilkesboro race. Each time I have ran with PPC, second place both times. Actually, no, I won the Charlotte Oval hosted there, and then second place in the real North Wilkesboro race to round out the regular, not the regular season, excuse me, to solidify the top 4 championship drivers. And that was so much fun going wheel to wheel, but it was hard also because I don't want to influence the outcome of especially the championship guys, but what definitely can influence it is how close you get to this wall. And Christopher Rosca, although he's just now exiting turn 2, Angel Delgado, ooh, little contact there on Rosca as we cut away with him. Ooh, Angel's just now exiting turn 2 as well. He's getting very close to putting Rosca possibly, yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 seconds. 4-second difference between Delgado and Rosca. Here we'll see Rosca just now passing that start-finish line. Here we have in the same camera shot, Rosca. Christopher, you better start running, boy. Oh, goodness. Angel is coming with a head of steam here in turns 1, making the middle line work. Lap 60 out of 165. Only 7, 6, 5, 4 drivers here tonight? Oh, man. It's just what the season boils down to. We're going to switch out the graphics here because there's no point in taking up that whole left side of the screen. Matter of fact, we can just stick with the top 5 on this one. Championship race coming at you live from the 1.5 miles. What will be championship next season again, thankfully. The rightful place to be, Homestead Miami Speedway here in Dade County, Florida. Appreciate everybody joining us throughout the whole season here on Stam Studio Network. Seeing you there in YouTube chat. Could not be doing this here without any of you guys. Yes, I'm talking about you there, Harold Mason, Green Phantom, Colin Grace, if you're still watching, as well as Travis Farmer. I know you're racing here tonight, but I know that you are also an avid fan of the Stam Studio Network broadcasts. Also the fans that don't really appear there in the live chats. I see that's where we're at about 11 live viewers right now, so those family members there that you know who you are and watching in front of your TV don't have the really ability to do the old live chat, but I appreciate that. It means the world to me. It just keeps me going ever so slightly or even more. Gonna keep the dream alive here on Stam Studio Network. It's been a while since I backed work with Flow Racing as well as ESPN. I've kind of traded in the camera over there at Flow Racing and ESPN for directing, commentating, and producing of my own works, and it's kind of been nice to be my own boss as well as have Adam work with me beside in the booth for Penny Pleasers Cup. So it's all boiling down here. I know we have quite a few laps to go in this race, but it almost brings a tear to my eye. The season is coming to an end, and hopefully it is not the end between Penny Pleasers Cup and SSN. Next closest battle on track here will, of course, be between Travis Farmer, Christopher Rosca. If we bring up that, not the lap time history, but the pit stop strategy, this is what I do remember. Travis Farmer, he pitted a little bit sooner than the old 00 of Christopher Rosca. And is this newer tires we're seeing, or is it just straight pace? We will never know. Just kidding. It's probably a little bit mixed. I know the tires do definitely mean a lot here, and Travis Farmer, he's not shown a lap down just yet, but Angel Delgado is once again right here in this same, well, sort of camera shots as these guys just now entering turn 3. As here comes Angel Delgado. The gap continuing to close, though. Angel getting even closer to putting down Travis Farmer a lap, as well as that 0-0 of Chris Rosca. There we see it, that same camera shot. Chris, this is the line. I love this out of the 0-0. He kind of comes off the wall on exit a little bit, could keep it up there even longer to get more speed built up, more air wedged between that right rear quarter panel and that safer barrier. That's what give you the speed around this not cookie cutter, but 1.5 miler from Homestead Miami Speedway. Run just a little bit lower there, 3-4. That is totally fine, and we're going to hop on board here with that 0-0, see if he likes the top here once again. Don't blame him. He probably said, okay, I got a little bit close there last time by out of turns 1 and 2. Runs just a little bit lower down the track, but Christopher Rosca so far retaining that P3 spot. Travis Farmer 4th. Samuel Litchfield, after that unfortunate incident with Christopher earlier in the race, drops down to P5. Still, unfortunately, 7 laps down. Jackson Brown has unfortunately pulled his number 12 Ford Mustang into the pits. That's going to just leave us with only 5 drivers here tonight. You see them all at the top of your screen in the old the ticker graphic there. Delgado, Pienta, Rosca, Farmer, Litchfield rounding out the top 5. There you can see the car logos. No more Toyota Camrys in the field here. This is only Ford Mustangs and Chevy Camaros. Actually thinking about trading in or selling, buying something new there. About had it with my Camaro. Let me know what you're driving there in YouTube chat and how you like it. I've been looking at GR86s actually. I know not even a Toyota here up on top of the screen, but I've got some family members, lots of friends that are the old Toyota family, and that may just be the way to go. And I can't believe I am actually saying that. Believe me. Jeremy Pienta here exiting at turn 4, heading back down the front straightaway. Cardboard cutout fans still out on their feet, even at these 14 and 16 second gaps. Well, I say cardboard cutout, but that kind of, I'm also kind of referring to everybody there in YouTube chat. We still have about 11, 12 viewers here live, and even with these bigger gaps, whether you're just cheering on a friend, family member, or here for the old SSN, whatever it may be, it means the world to me, as well as these drivers. It's able to keep them moving and grooving. Travis Farmer, that Monster Energy number 9 Chevy Camaro. See Angel Delgado there in the same camera spot. Angel passed him just a lap or 2 ago, unfortunately putting Travis Farmer down now 1 lap. Check here at YouTube chat. Harold Delgado, he says thank you for the old shout outs. And yes, that's once again shouting you out because it has been this whole season. I know that you probably have way better things to do on your Sunday nights here, but watching Angel Delgado and every driver here in Penny Pleasers Cup throughout the whole season, it's been pretty special to me to kind of experience it firsthand and see you guys there rooting your drivers on in YouTube land. We're not even halfway to go as a competition caution would actually be a little interesting to see, but I don't think that we do those here in PPC. Jeremy Pienta, Christopher Rosca, Travis Farmer, Samuel Litchfield have not missed a thing. One more crank it up. Brought to you by the one, the only Stam Studio Network. Alrighty, crank it back down. Welcome back here to Stam Studio Network, where we are completing our 4th or 5th crank it up here tonight. It's, man, the gap's just continuing to grow between Angel Delgado, Jeremy Pienta, Christopher Rosca. Have not missed a thing here. The top 3 has not changed. 15-second gap between 1 and 2. Also, about 16-second gap between Jeremy Pienta, Chris Rosca. The last 3 drivers that have retained this lead lap, not gone down a lap, and of course, well, they're the 3 drivers that are in the championship for, well, you can call it 3 now, with unfortunately Samuel Litchfield still down 7 laps, not gained any time back there. Christopher Rosca, liking what I'm seeing, still ripping the boards here, that 00 Microsoft scheme. Coming to lap 80 out of 165, getting close to halfway. About time. We are continuing to tick them off, though. Travis Farmer, I saw him come down pit lane when we were under crank it up there, so he will be 2 laps down now. Is that who I think it is there?
Let's go, Penny Pleasers fans!
How's it going,
It's
Adam?
That's right, I am fantastic. Just did a no glitches allowed charity marathon run I was asked to do commentary for, which was very touching. It's the first marathon run I've actually been asked to do and commentate for, so that was a ton of fun. And now we are here in the finals of the Penny Pleasers Cup. Rosca is coming into the pits. Farmer 2 laps down. Litchfield 7 laps down. And I've been staying tuned, Sean. It seems like Delgado, why is there no surprise here? He has been out in front and dominating. We still have half a race to go.
Man, it seemed like Delgado, all he had to do was just get the green off and clean, and then, well, he's ran away with it so far. I think that's the last thing that Angel Delgado wants right now is another caution to come out, because that's just another chance at his car getting, a little damage on it. But now, look at this, Adam. Only 2 drivers shown on the lead lap. Angel Delgado, Chris Rosca.
You know what? It's almost like it's come full circle. And why do I say that? Sean, we've talked about Christopher Rosca at the first half of this season for the Penny Pleasers Cup as one of the underrated. He just finishes well. May have not won early, but you know what? He races well. He finishes. Was in the top 3 for a portion. Was in 4th place. Had a very rough finish to the end of the regular season. And now, Rosca is 32.5 seconds behind Angel Delgado, who, Sean, let's face it, right, has been the class of the field for most of this entire season. It's been him and Brian Reyes, and Braxton DeWeese was racing as well. Those have been the top 3 in terms of dominant performances. This is my first opportunity to ask you, do you think this is Delgado's race to lose?
Goodness, that's a loaded question there, but as he is about to put down Rosca a lap down, Angel Delgado will be the only driver on this lead lap, and depending on where fuel cycles cycle out to, even if a caution does come out, I believe he'll only have to worry about Christopher Rosca there, depending if, I honestly forget if Penny Pleasers throws out those waiver rounds under cautions or not, but even with only 5 drivers here on the track here right now, I think it's going to be hard to get a caution to come out. Everybody's kind of in their momentum and their rhythm at this point, and it's definitely, it'll be a little bit closer if a caution does come out and does possibly present that maybe scenario to take place. But right now,
Cautions
I mean, my
with
God,
5 cars. Cautions
Yeah.
with 5 cars is going to be a rarity. But look at what Rosca's done. He's lost a second. And Delgado, again, no surprise here from Delgado, is flying. He could lap Rosca, but you're seeing Rosca taking what's called the Larson line. This is the line that has been named for Kyle Larson at Homestead. He just rides the top line here at Homestead, and then when it eventually comes in, he just flies by every other car. So you see these racers not really hanging out on the inside as much. They're riding that Larson line here at the top. 86 laps of 165. We are officially over halfway done. There is still so much to go here, and anything can happen. A cut tire, a random hit into the wall, dirty air. There's still a lot to happen here, Sean.
Hey, we got some Adam fans here welcoming you back into the stream. Got Mason and Harold, and we got Hewling there in chat.
Thank you.
Mason
Appreciate
Harold
all
shouting
of
you
you.
out there, Adam.
Appreciate that. Much appreciated. Glad we got some fans here. Glad to see everyone watching this live as well. For those of you watching on the stream, thank you so much for tuning in. Sean, I'll get the pleasantries out of the way with now. Thank you for allowing me to do commentary with you here all season.
Woohoo!
I have been doing multiple esports titles. This is my first foray into iRacing, and I've been having a ton of fun with it. So big shout outs to you and the Stam Studio Network for allowing me to do racing here. And it comes down to this, we've had insane runs from all of these racers throughout the entire season. And now it's down to Delgado, Rosca, Pienta, and Litchfield. Little tough for Litchfield to even come away with this here, 7 laps down. But Pienta and Rosca, this is your opportunity to make something happen. Delgado into pit road.
Should see 4 tires stop here on that number 90. I'd be surprised if we didn't. And Adam, you're exactly right. If you're just now joining us, this is exactly what the whole season has come down to. These final 4 championship drivers battling it out for $200 here tonight. And with this pit stop, Christopher Roscoe will still have to make a pit stop, but he's going to cycle out to the lead for the moment.
Rosca's best hope is to catch a caution.
At this point, yes, right now he needs that caution flag to fly.
And he needs to continue to gain on his lead to
Ooh.
Delgado.
I
Think
he's
about
coming in.
this for a second. Yeah, I mean, this is also smart by him. He's like, you know what? I realize I can do it. So he's going to get his green flag stop done now. And I like this call. So that's going to put Pienta in second. But Rosca, from what I've seen, seemingly has gone from worst car to second best car. And again, this is the inaugural season here at the Penny Pleasers Cup. And when we get to the end of this race, there is some stuff that Race Control would love us to share with you fans. So make sure you stick around
Uh-oh.
for the end of this race, because we have some stuff to share with you about next season.
Oh.
So, again, we are very appreciative to all of you. Sean, I'm super grateful and appreciative to you for taking a chance on me and letting me do some iRacing comms. I've been having fun with it.
Yeah, man, I know you said you had the stream going on earlier, but probably focused on your own thing there. But I was thanking you for all that you've done for us this season and joining me side by side up here in the booth. It almost puts a tear to my eye to see the old inaugural season finish up here. But it's been a blast. And Adam, I'd like to ask you, how was what you were working on here before coming in here to the booth?
So it was fun. So if you've heard me do commentary, I do a lot of commentary for the Metroid franchise. So a lot of it is Super Metroid, Metroid Prime 1, and Metroid Fusion. So a friend of mine asked me if I would do commentary for a charity marathon run called No Glitches Allowed. So when you think of speed running, you think of glitches. You think of legal glitches that allow you to take and win a race or go for a world record, personal bests. And this was a category that Anthony, who is my buddy, and his buddy Pork, friends of mine,
Pork?
they would do. Yep, Pork. His avatar is a pig puppet, and it's hilarious. We played into that the entire run as well. That's the gimmick. And they did Super Metroid glitchless co-op any percent. What that basically means is there's a lot of glitches in Super Metroid. arm pumping, damage boosting.
Oh,
There's so much other stuff, mock balls and everything else. So this glitchless run was to be doing the race, to do the entire run the way the developers intended the game to be played. And it was a ton of fun. They finished with a total time of 39 minutes and about 38 seconds. So not their personal best of 39:10, but they did a really great job. And they were currently at $3,070 for charity, heading into their final game of their marathon this weekend.
wow.
So,
Holy
and it's
smokes.
all, yeah, and it's all benefiting a rescue organization. So, which is pretty cool. It's a puppy rescue, which
No,
I thought was really, really cool. It's called Go Rescue, and it's a puppy rescue. So, very cool.
Be sure to go check those guys out over there. And real quick, before we get back to racing action, how did their time there, I think you said 39-1, how did that rank on other times? And I know you said they've had a better time than that.
A relatively newer category, but still, it was pretty good. Their personal best was 39 minutes and 10 seconds at the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
yeah, so they did really well. I was happy. And if anyone knows me, my wife and I are big animal lovers, and especially big dog people. So that was pretty cool to hop along to a marathon like that. So, but speaking of marathon, is exactly what this final Homestead race is. Sean, noticed the 165 laps. One of the longest races we've seen of the season, and rightfully so. It's championship week. How do you think the extra laps are going to play into the racers', I guess you want to call it, endurance?
You know, I'm glad that you bring that up, because that's something I think that I personally struggle with here. Not only behind the wheel is endurance, but also trying to convey to the audience just how tough it is behind these race cars. And yeah, most definitely, you're almost 100 laps here down in the race, 65 to go. It definitely starts tugging on you both mentally and physically. And of course, we do have the driver cams here tonight. That's the next best thing that I can sort of try and get to show just how the car and the track starts to weigh on you physically and mentally. But Rosca's he's keeping that Larson line running, like you said there, Adam. Keeping the pace up in the 00, and that just takes even more focus, skill out of you, of the driver. It's you're definitely sweating at this point, even though you're in a sim, you're in AC, you're in a room with AC. You're dripping sweat at this point.
Oh, absolutely. And there's one other thing talking about dripping sweat. Let's just go to an overview, because we can see it from Roscoe right now. The sun is setting on the track, and that's going to change the conditions of this racetrack, Sean. How, and you race, going from a daytime race into a nighttime race, what are you as a driver expecting the track conditions to go from to? Are we looking at extra grip, less grip? Talk us through what we're going to expect as the sun sets here at Homestead.
Oh, you can even visually see it now. The orange start to cast itself over the cameras, and it's iRacing. If you're newer here to the iRacing universe, you best believe iRacing simulates just about everything that goes into racing. And also, yes, once the sun continues to set, so does the track temp, the ambient temperature. It all starts to fall, and with that, you start to gain a little bit of grip in the track. Also, the tire rubber is everything, like I said, simulated here on iRacing onto the track. But it all starts to come down together. And one thing that I would really like to point out here was, we'll hop on board with Samuel Litchfield. The sun is really going to get into your eyes here, not off turn 2, but we'll hop on board. We're riding with them here, heading into turn 3 and 4. The sun continues to set. Sure, there is a little bit of more grip available in the track. But look at this, especially if you have HDR enabled on your gaming PC, you are about blind right there heading out of turn 4. It just makes it keeps you on your feet there, long story short.
So 103 of 165. The inaugural championship is on the line. You got it. So, with the inaugural championship on the line, if you are just tuning in to Championship Sunday, welcome to the Penny Pleasers Cup. Welcome to what has been a really, really fun entire season. We started this the end of last year, and now we are here at Homestead Miami Speedway with Angel Delgado, Jeremy Pienta, Christopher Rosca, and Samuel Litchfield. Your top 4 drivers in the inaugural Penny Pleasers Cup. These are the 4 that are going to race for the inaugural crown. Who is going to take home championship glory, championship gold? Who is going to win that trophy? It's most likely, if this race holds, Delgado is going to win it. But in any championship race, you never, ever count out any racer, because all it takes is one caution, one blown tire, getting into a wall. Anything can happen in a race, including virtual racing. It does not matter. Travis Farmer into the pits. Litchfield is currently out. He was 9 laps down. Sean, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I'm assuming Litchfield must have got into a wreck.
Oh no. Yes, well, Litchfield, he stayed into the race for a little bit after the wreck, but maybe for you guys that are just now joining us, I'll get you a look at, let's see here, I believe it was this wreck, and it's, I'll let this say, call it what you will here. This is Rosca and Samuel Litchfield, both fighting for position. We're on the same lap. This is for the lead lap. This is earlier in the race, and I'll give us another view here. But watch just after the contact, I mean, the direct right into the wall. It was at that point Samuel Litchfield then spent a couple laps there in the pits. I'll give us another look.
Yeah, that's just good racing. Roscoe was trying to move up to get the top line and attempting a block. Too much speed from Litchfield. I mean, to me, Sean, that's just good racing.
Yeah, it's room definitely ran out quick. Call it what you will there. It was some good racing.
I don't think there was anything dirty about that, to be honest. I think that was just clean racing. Attempted a block and got a little too aggressive.
Real quick, we see, I know we've had Harold here in the chat quite throughout this whole season, but Denise Delgado, that's a newer name, and you can best believe I would guess who she is voting for. She says Angel's grandma would be whistling right now. That's pretty
right.
Special. Once again, this paint scheme is for Miss Delgado there, the grandma of Angel Delgado, and it means that much more. Home track race, little special paint scheme for you, and that will present a 22-second gap over Pienta.
That is correct. And now, I teased it earlier, we are in green flag runs. Delgado out here is absolutely dominating. I have been told from our fine folks over in Race Control. Daniel, hope you're feeling better. Here we go. Here is the update for next season. Penny Pleasers Cup is going to be renamed to the Overdrive Cup Series.
What? That's news to me as well. Woohoo!
Yep. So
congrats.
Penny Pleasers Cup starting next season is going to be renamed to the Overdrive Cup Series. Playoffs are going to be a little bit different next season as well. The final 10 racers will take the top 10 in points for an all-out brawl for the final 10 laps to decide a champion, just like the chase. There will not be any racing until we get 20 or about drivers for sure racing every week. That makes sense. Now, drivers. This is important, Sean. Drivers will get 3 waivers of races where they may receive last place points.
What? Say
3
that one more time.
waivers. Drivers will get 3 waivers of races where they may receive last place points. I'm assuming that's going to have something to deal with, you know, all the racers that have had something pop up, whether it's work or they're on vacation.
Oh, I
can't
see what
get
you're saying.
there.
Okay.
My guess is
Like
there's
3
going to be
drops.
3 waivers.
Okay.
So
I
they'll
see.
get last place points, but it's not like it's going to be massively detrimental to them.
And that's you could call that the Brian Reyes points or rule there, because not to be Krispy Kreme donut glazer, as I know some of you like to call me with Reyes, but I mean, there was a reason I was always talking about him. I mean, he was always up front there, and he should be one of the championship 4 drivers tonight. Just had some personal things to take care of when we were racing, and I really like that. That's a rule that I could definitely get behind. I appreciate both Daniel and Bueling it coming to that conclusion. I love it.
You got it. So, more information. The schedule will be extended a couple extra races. The expansion to teams being able to have 5 full-time cars in Season 2. Currently, the teams are allowed 4 cars per team. There will possibly be more money racers and some weekday exhibition races with some prizes.
And is there any rule on the broadcaster being involved in any of those? Because I would love to get down wheel to wheel for some little exhibition action. For, what'd you say, Overdrive it's going to be called? Not PPC?
The Overdrive Cup Series.
Wow. That's going to
I
take
love
a
that
broadcast or 2 to get used to.
No kid, I love that name. So there's a ton of things. I do love the idea, Sean, about having a minimum of 20 drivers per race.
Oh, I'm right there with you, man. It's even something I struggle with the GT4 versus NASCAR series. It's normally within league races, which are confined within the drivers who are, registered within the league. But you mentioned it there, Adam. It's sometimes hard to get drivers to show up to your races, and I've started putting my races in hosted. Last week at Laguna Seca had 22 drivers show up. But it's so off and on, too, because I put my race again in hosted over the weekend at Charlotte Roval for GT4 versus NASCAR. Only had like 4 drivers, but regardless, to get back what you're saying, it's something that every league kind of struggles with, and I really appreciate, once again, Huling and Daniel for kind of taking that into account and making that a rule there.
Yeah, I like a lot of these changes that have come to what is going to be known as the Overdrive Cup Series. I think these rules make a lot of sense. But you know what? There's a lot of positives to take away. We may have been focused, trying to change some of the negatives of not having a lot of drivers. We see this field being really small. I really think that we have had a lot of successes here for the Penny Breezes Cup in the inaugural season. You have had a community being built between these drivers. Yes, at times it's gotten very heated and drivers have been, upset and frustrated, but that's racing for you. We see that in regular racing too. But so many positives. There are a bunch of us drivers that'll play random games at times. Myself, Rosca, Farmer, Pienta, Richfield, we'll all go play golf at times. There's the community being built here. Having the introduction of somebody like a Braxton DeWeese, who is very well established, come in, was going to finish up the season with us, but had some scheduling conflicts. And there's been a lot to take away. Positive attitudes. We've had, let's see, Daniel Huling, amazing job in race control. I mean, they've been amazing tournament owners. Sean, what are some amazing positives from you? I mean, the drivers have been great. They've done really well on interviews. No one's really had an attitude towards broadcasting. No one's really had an overall attitude. Outside of someone got really pissed during a race, and I'll just call it what it is. If someone gets pissed during a race, I mean, we've seen it with plenty of professional drivers. Someone accidentally wrecks somebody, intentional or not, right? Like, people get frustrated, things get heated, but then things calm down. So like I think a lot of the drivers have found that kind of camaraderie. So what about for you, Sean, as we are heading into the final 40 laps of this championship race? What are some positives to take away from here in this inaugural season for you?
Well, nothing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Nothing!
absolutely
You
kidding.
lose!
No.
We are going elsewhere next season!
No, you hit the nail on the head there, Adam. That's the racecraft, the sportsmanship that we've seen. I know it's a little smaller field here tonight, but seriously, in Penny Pleasers Cup, and now it will be known as the Overdrive Series, it's been, well, like I said, you nailed the nail on the head with the hammer, because I have some series where, sure, it's short track racing, and it'll kind of, that's just a little something that results from short track racing is you're pissed off at everybody afterwards. But really, sure, there's been maybe a disagreement or two, but none of these drivers pissed off by one another. It's all sportsmanship, all racing here in PPC, and I don't even know if I sound weird for trying to make this connection, but I swear every time I am driving my car real life, just about every other time I'm able to see a license plate that starts with PPC, and it really, in my mind, it takes me, throughout the whole season, with not only you, Adam, being right by my side, having a blast with you, Daniel Hewling, all these drivers. Once again, it puts a little tear in my eye that we're approaching the final, or we are on the final race of the season, approaching the final laps to go here coming up.
That is very true, but there is, again, so much good to be taken away here. We're going to see Pienta come in for what is most likely his last green flag stop of this entire race. Now, Delgado is going to have to come in one more time. So is Rosca. And right now, this is all Delgado in that beautiful breast cancer paint scheme. You got the ribbon there, the white on the front, the pink on the side. Shout out to DL Designs. That Ford Mustang has been one of the class of the field all season. I cannot wait to see what next season brings for these guys. But now as the sun sets here at Homestead Miami, racetrack settings are going to get a little bit different. It's going to get a little colder out, Sean.
Bring
Here
out the
for
jackets.
racers. But they're not going to have to deal with as much glare in their faces. How much, as we enter 40 laps to go in this inaugural season of the Penny Pleasers Cup, soon to be renamed the Overdrive Cup Series, what do you expect typically with night races? Again, I asked you this earlier, but are you expecting a different line to start coming in?
Oh, great question there. To answer the first question, what do you expect with night races? Normally all hell to break loose, but with the gaps that we've seen in Delgado, no, that is not the graphic software messing up. That is actually Delgado put down Christopher Rosca a lap down, so right now our leader, the only car on this lead lap. Yes, we are going to continue to see these temperatures continue to fall. The lights are now on at Homestead Miami Speedway. As far as different lines, I mean, we've seen Delgado run this kind of bottom line 1-2. He gets a little bit higher 3-4, but I really don't think the line will continue to change for him too much, because he's got a 50-second gap over Rosca. Rosca, however, sure, the line might change for him. He may even continue to search for some more racetrack. You see him even more Larson line there out of turns 1 and 2. If we're going to see any line change, it'll be out of Rosca. He will be trying to fight for all he can these last few laps, and his last chance at winning $200. It's going to be fun to watch.
You are good. Nothing really to talk about over here other than just listening to the sounds of the racetrack. So, with that being said, oh, we do have a caution that's come out. What? And with Sean, of course, taking a bathroom, like, I have no idea what's happening. So there's a caution. Ross, definitely not Rosca. It's not Farmer. You're good. Some sort of caution
What
flag.
in the heck? What happened? I was gone for what, 30
I
seconds?
don't know. You left me on Rosca. It's clearly not Rosca.
Oh, I'm so
we're being
sorry
told
there.
Jeremy Pienta spun.
Oh, here's the look at it here at full speed at Jeremy off of turn 2. That's that changing track conditions you mentioned there, Adam. I really do think you're at such a rhythm at this point in the race. I mean, look, Jeremy just gets a little too deep into turn 1.
That's all. Nice recovery, though.
No damage for him, yes. Sorry, that was
Nope,
the
not at all.
worst time. Adam, I'm really sorry I threw you under the bus. I thought I had a chance to take a restroom break. Apparently
My
not.
goodness, all we've had is green flag runs, and
I
it doesn't really matter. So, this is it. Rosca's going to be back on the lead lap. This is the opportunity. The problem for Rosca, he hasn't come to pit road yet.
Oh, here he
He
comes here.
still needs fuel, and now there we go. So everyone's going to come in. Everyone's going to take tires. Everyone's going to take fuel.
You mentioned it, though, right there, Adam.
Oh,
Oh,
hang
sorry, you
on.
got it.
fueling. In
Bueling.
chat, each lapped driver gets 1 lap back according to PPC regulations.
What?
We're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned hot-off restart. It'll be Rosca versus Delgado for potentially the championship on this restart.
There's the look at Jeremy Pienta losing it off turn 2. He gets it. Oh, that could have dove into the right wall, but gets it looped back around and no damage. And Adam, that's huge because remember, 200 big ones going on the line here tonight. I don't know about you, but I might even turn the old grandma for 200 big ones.
Oh, jeez. Hey, now.
Alrighty, well, we're going to get... the lights are out on the safety car, but we might have to go one more lap as these drivers all need to get waved around here. Well, Adam, this is about the time when we go from ones to watts to kind of race winners. And, I mean, really, we only have 2 choices. Is it going to be Angel Delgado or Christopher Rosca? I believe Jeremy Pienta and Travis Farmer could be on that lead lap as well once we get going.
I have to go with Delgado. There's...
Oh, you took my pick.
I mean, we're going to have the same pick. Delgado has been the car the second half of this season. I mean, he was good in the first half of the season, but he really found his way and he came into his own in the second half of the season. It was him, it was Brian Reyes, and it was Braxton Deweese. It was those 3 that were the class of the field. But now, as we head to the end here, Angel Delgado, we've seen him have good restarts here, Sean. Is he your one to win? And if so, what are you expecting here from him? How does he have to get off on this restart?
He's got to get off, and he's got to get off pretty well, if you know what I'm saying. Because although he's there in the inside line, he'll have the he can control the start as he blinks out once again. This is not my fault here behind the scenes. Goodness, for those of you who saw the Fox broadcast today, I don't know if it was just YouTube TV, some Sam Studio Network broadcasting issues for them. But anyways, what I'm watching here on the restart here, Adam, Christopher Rosca, he's going to have to time this start, jamming the gas pedal right when Angel Delgado does. Going to have to run right there side by side with him into turn 1. This whole season is on the line here, Christopher Rosca, Angel Delgado. If you're listening, give him hell, do it for Dale, whatever the saying is here as we head at 2 by 2. As we complete the caution for, yes, this is what the whole season has come down to, basically.
Sam Litchfield is in chat. He's officially out of the race. We're down to the final 4. Delgado, Rosca, Pienta, Farmer. Delgado with the phenomenal restart. Able to get up to speed, and it's Rosca just has not been good on the restarts. It is falling back like a rock right now. Pienta, who's still a lap down, is now going to get right in front of Rosca. They're going to have to start making that top line work here.
And that was exactly what you did not want if you're Christopher Rosca or any fans for that 0-0. Missed the start completely compared to Angel. Angel's now running away with it once again.
134 laps of 165. We are coming down to getting the lights on here at Homestead Miami Speedway. The fans are jam-packed into the crowd, into the stands. People have got their final concessions. They are back in the stands. All the concession stands have closed because everybody wants to watch the end of this race. You can look at them. Look how packed they are in the stands right now. We are 30 laps to go in this inaugural Penny Pleasers Cup Championship Series.
Adam, once again, this has just been the best time with you up here in the booth. I know we only have just a couple drivers out here on the field tonight. What, 1, 2, 3, 4 out left on the track, but we are still moving and grooving. Here's Travis Farmer, although showing a lap down, trying to take it to the third and fourth battle. Almost, matter of fact, sparks flying between Farmer and Pienta.
Yeah, Farmer almost
Rosca
getting into the back of Rosca there.
Yeah, that was that could have been a lot bigger moments there. Sorry, I misspoke. Called Rosca Pienta, but oh, you cannot count here Rosca out just yet. As if there is another yellow flag, I think Christopher has learned what he's done wrong and can possibly time this start just a little bit better. Here we have Travis wrapping the bottom, gonna go back towards the top of the track. Farmer is P4, Pienta and Rosca battling it out for P2.
All right, here we go. Rosca is now looking to gain on Pienta, looking to take over his
Ooh, that's going to be tight, and contact between the two cars.
Turns Pienta!
Caution is out.
Rosca is out for championship gold.
Oh my gosh, he is. I think you said that the best, Adam. He's out for those 200. Let's take a look, see what brought this caution flag out, and maybe a little drone cam action brought to you by the one, the only, Stam Studio Network. We're going to have to beep, 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 back this one up. Christopher, once again on the bottom. This is very reminiscent of the incident we had earlier. Here, I mean, okay, the 77 is going to the bottom of the track, and Christopher is drifting up. 2 cars for the same bit of asphalt. Not going to work out.
Nope. Like you said, I think Pienta wanted to go low. Rosca was going high. Not enough racetrack in between them. Not a major wreck, just turning Pienta here. So he will not have to contend with really any damage. It was more just turning. But like you said, Pienta wanted to go low. Rosca wanted to go high.
Little bit of a racing incident, we'll call it here. This one at Homestead Miami Speedway. 77 goes around. No damage to that Subway Chevy Camaro number 77. This,
And by the way, that's huge. Farmer is now 1 lap down. And by the way, that put Jeremy Pienta on the lead lap.
So, Adam, respectively, what we did have here before you jumped in the booth, it was gaps on gaps. Here we have drivers making their way back, even onto the lead lap. We could have Travis Farmer, if he's able to get his wave around Jeremy Pienta into the pits, but he should be back, I think, on the lead lap. Don't quote me on that, but once again, as I just mentioned before this kind of caution flag came out, this is it's just another chance for Rosca here, as he can kind of time this start a little bit better. We're going to take a quick ad break here on Stam Studio Network. We'll be right back.
And Sean, I'll be right back.
All right. Hey guys,
right, folks,
welcome back
welcome.
here. Oh, sorry, you got it, Adam.
We are so excited. We don't want the season to end. We both wanted the last entry into Off the Ad Break. It's what happens when you get two play-by-play guys trying to do the same exact thing.
Right? Oh my
And
days.
just because butt kicker.
Hey, shout out Butt Kicker. You've saved our butts here a couple times this season. Allowed us to take a couple breaks. And, well, Adam, looking 2x2. We got 2 more corners to go through before we get some more green flag racing. What are you looking at on this restart?
I think Pienta got new tires on that last one. Look at him going back and forth, trying to warm up those tires. Pienta elects to take the outside. Rosca is going to be on the inside line right behind Delgado. Is that going to make a difference? Why is Pienta in second is what I want to know, if Rosca was the one to go to second.
Maybe just how they got on or off pits. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But looks like the pace car, don't blame them, safety. Yeah, they said, I don't know about you, but I'm heading out of here. Green flag is out from the Geico restart zone. Here we go. Angel Delgado has that run once again.
He jumps very fast, but Pienta, I don't know if you noticed it, got so incredibly close up to speed there. Did well. Look at Pienta. He's actually gaining on Delgado. We have 25 laps to go. It is Delgado, Pienta, and Rosca fighting for championship gold, for championship glory, the right to call themselves the inaugural Penny Pleasers Cup champion. And we're doing it in style here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Delgado out in front, but look at how much Pienta is seemingly starting to close the gap visually. Can he get that car into overdrive? Can he make his way and catch Delgado? Delgado getting, I don't know, he may be a little too overconfident. Sean, did you see how he went down, then back up, then back down again? Is is he trying to either fend off Pienta, or is he trying to find grip on this racetrack?
Trying to break that draft there for the number 90 machine. We'll see if he does it once again out of turn 2. But Adam, you said it best here. Visually, gap is closing between the 2 drivers. Here we go. Delgado continuing to lead the 77. Once again, breaking the draft down the back straightaway. But I think he's still just losing time doing that. Here comes the 77. You best believe he's got $200 on his mind. 23 coming to 22 laps to go from Homestead Miami Speedway. This battle is not over by any means.
No, it's not, and Rosca is creeping behind them. But right now, Pienta and Delgado are fighting for the lead. And if I'm Rosca, I am licking my chops saying, yes, please, go overdrive, go fight. Take each other out and allow me to win the championship. Rosca is biding his time. But now that Delgado has finally stopped swerving in and out, he's gained back his lead. He was up by 0.3 on Pienta before he started doing the swervy swerve. And now it was down to about 0.15, almost to 0.1. And now he's started to reopen up that lead back. But if you're Pienta, this is your opportunity. Championship glory is right in front of you. You need to get in front of Delgado and then be able to hold him off. But Delgado, that rocket ship he's had for the last half a season, that rocket ship might just be too much to catch right now. Delgado's going to have to make a mistake, or Pienta is going to have to read the right line that has the speed. He's just shaved off again another second, 0.15 off his time. We have ourselves, even in this small field with 4 cars left, we have ourselves a chance, an opportunity to see a potential lead change, a potential underdog upset the big dog in Angel Delgado.
And believe me, we have seen this time in, time out this season. Pienta faster than Delgado right now. I mean, he is there. Catching him is one thing, but passing Angel is going to be just another gap separated by about 0.2 of a second now. Call it 2.5. That 77 going to make the top line work as Angel Delgado dives to the bottom of the hill, exiting turn 4, coming on to 18 laps to go. This is either of these two drivers' race. Angel hasn't had a driver to deal with all of tonight. Now he's got a mirror full of Mr. Jeremy Pienta.
This is exactly what racing is all about. A tight finish for a championship on the line. But here's the deal for Pienta. You know you don't have the best car on the track. But because of that Larson line, the high line here at Homestead Miami Speedway, you can get the speed you need. Here we go. To the bumper of Delgado goes Jeremy Pienta. Look at the smile on Delgado like, nah, boy, you are not passing me. I have been the best car all season. You can kiss my tailpipes. You are not taking this championship away from me.
I was very intrigued there that Jeremy Pienta did not look down the inside after that immaculate run, calling out of turn 2. He's going to stay right there in the dirty air of Delgado. We're coming to 16 laps to go. Adam, do you think that Jeremy Pienta, could he just be abiding his time? Or if you were the driver of the 77, is now the time to go?
I think right now Pienta's trying to find the line that works. He is trying to figure out how the best in the next 10 laps that he can try overtaking Delgado. We know that right now, I've mentioned this several times already, going from a day race into a night race, how is the track going to change? We've seen that high line come in so well throughout the course of this race, but that bottom line at points towards these turns have really given Pienta the opportunity to try taking the lead. Is Pienta going to just keep to the high line? Can he figure out where on this track the speed is? And then how can he capitalize with 15 laps to go over Angel Delgado? Remember, Pienta is on most likely fresh tires. Pienta's on a full tank of fuel. Pienta's making his move to the inside!
Side by side, heading down into turn 1. Is this tires? We will see in just a second. Jeremy down the hill, making the bottom of the line work. Takes the lead away, but here comes Delgado. Does he have the runoff exit? No, he doesn't. He stalls out just a little bit. 77 to the lead.
Now this is up to see what Delgado's truly made of. What is his car truly made of? What? This car has been so good in clean air. Can he get to the front of Pienta with 13 laps to go? The championship is on the line.
Gotta remember, Pienta spun here earlier in the race, but Delgado shown pitting just a few laps later. So does Delgado actually have the newer tires here, and he just ended up getting passed by Jeremy Pienta,
no.
who pit on lap
you
122?
Can see the brake. You can see the brake. Pienta got, looks like he had tires. But regardless, Delgado is now losing speed here. Look, I go back to the championship 4 from NASCAR Cup Series last season. Joey Logano coming in at the end to take the championship away from a back-to-back for Ryan Blaney, away from a first championship of William Byron. Can Jeremy Pienta take the championship away from Delgado? Delgado is locked in like a statue. You can see on his face he's a little disheartened. You have to shake that off right here and right now and focus on finishing this race and getting in front of Pienta to claim your championship. But now a half a second down, Pienta has found the lines that works, but can he hold them a long run? That's going to be the key. Is he going to be able to hold off Delgado on these long runs? We're going to be coming up on the final 10 laps of the Penny Pleasers Cup, and Pienta is opening up a 0.8 second lead over Delgado. Sean, what does Delgado need to do to get first place back?
Respectfully, first of all, I mean, who saw this coming? 77 passing the number 90 here. What does Angel need to do? He needs to find his marks, find a little bit more pace in that number 90, maybe run some experimental lines. 10 laps to go. It's going to tick off very fast, only 32-second lap times. We're looking, as if my math is math, and it's just about, 5 minutes left to go here. 30-second lap times. Angel Delgado, he's still within striking distance. Don't count him out just yet. But the fastest driver we've seen tonight is right now P2 to Jeremy Pienta, 2,300.
He just saved off 200ths of a second on that long run.
And even, looking at the lap time differential, here we go. You mentioned it there, Adam. Angel is continuing to close the gap, at least by last lap by.
This is it. This all comes down to this right now. You are not putting these cars anywhere else. You burn the tires. You burn the car. You put it into a freaking fireball if you need to. You fly. Is Pienta going to have the upset of the season?
He's faster that lap compared to Mr. Angel Delgado. I did not see this coming by any means. 8 laps to go. His chances are continuing to dwindle away for Angel Delgado, who led the majority of this race. Jeremy Pienta still out front, exiting out of turn 4. Adam, are you just trying to throw the car, everything that you have, to the wall at this point? Because, my goodness, these laps continuing to tick down. It seems like faster and faster each time.
I'm putting the pedal to the metal. I am flooring it. If there's anything left in the car, I'm just throwing everything I have right now. Rosca's got no shot of coming back on this. He is 9 seconds down. It is all between the 77 of Jeremy Pienta, one of the drivers who has been underrated, never been towards the front, but has never won a race this season in dominant fashion. He has come from second off the back of Rosca turning him. That's the other storyline. Rosca turning Pienta. And that, they found something when they went to the pits, because Pienta is now 0.08 of a second faster than Delgado. We are coming up on the backstretch, coming in to 5 laps to go, Sean.
Oh, you honestly hate this for the number 90. That was contacts with the 77, sent him around, and now he is out here leading the race after that caution came out. Just 5 laps to go. We got to remember, once again, what we are all fighting for. These Championship 4 drivers fighting for $200 here tonight, and right now, with just 1 caution coming out, it's going to separate Jeremy Pienta, Angel Delgado.
If Delgado had 5 more laps, maybe even 10 laps, Delgado could retake the lead. Look at him throwing everything behind the car. He's now up to 0.05 of a second behind Pienta. This is where he's game time on these flat straightaways here. And now, what can he do to find the time? Look, he's throwing everything he has at this. He just went under 0.05 of a second. Can Pienta hold? Do we have cams focusing on Pienta and Delgado?
Looking out here, the back of Pienta, we're seeing just how much harder Angel Delgado can drive it into the corners, but he really sacrifices off the exit there. This gap is continuing to close here just visually, but not too much on the timing. Just over 0.5 seconds, comparing the two. 3 laps to go left in our final race, the championship race of Penny Pleasers Cup this season. Are we about to see $200 go to Jeremy Pienta, or does Angel Delgado have what it takes? He gets loose there out of turn 2, continuing to lose time.
That looseness at the end might have cost Delgado a championship. It doesn't matter anywhere else. Jeremy Pienta, off the back of getting turned by Rosca. Pienta, who has been solid this season, has never been one of the dominant drivers, may have never won a race. This is now his time. We are coming up on the white flag in the inaugural Penny Pleasers Cup, soon to be known as the Overdrive Cup Series. Here we go, coming along the front straightaway. White flag is out. Championship point. Championship lap. Jeremy Pienta, Angel Delgado. What do you both have? If I'm Delgado, I am flooring it. I am turning this call into a molten fireball and flying up the track. I'm making sure I'm burning every set of tires I get left on this car.
Hit a
I don't care
Chastain
if
into
the
3-4.
mufflers fall out.
Do what you
I don't
need. He
care if the
does
mufflers-
try and hit a
He's doing it.
Chastain.
He's gonna do the Ross Chastain, and it's not gonna work. Jeremy Pienta, you are the inaugural Penny Pleasers Cup champion.
What a race! What an outcome that we have had. Angel trying to make the Rossi chassis work here at Homestead. Jeremy Pienta, 200 big ones to your name. Championship race, your name. Penny Pleasers Cup, Season 1, inaugural championship race. 77 to victory lane. Burn that puppy down.
What a season. What a final 20 laps for Jeremy Pienta to find success. Sean, if you remember, and I'm going to take us back to that restart. Matter of fact, I know we have the power to do this. Take us back real quickly. I want to focus on the last restart. Get that championship burnout, Jeremy.
I will take us to that green flag here on that restart because that's what gave Jeremy Pienta the lead over Angel Delgado. Just want to see him burn this puppy down real quick. And then we will definitely cut to replays and driver interviews, have it all for you here on Stam Studio Network. Here is the replay that Mr. Adam was asking for here. The green flag restart here between Jeremy
So
Pienta,
here we go.
Angel Delgado.
Sean, I want everyone to focus on the 77. Delgado flew ahead. This is what he's done so great this entire season on these restarts. But I want to go back to how Pienta just maintained getting up to speed in such a solid way and was underrated. I saw it from how we started to begin with. Delgado had the lead, but Pienta found something on that restart. There is a good chance that Delgado burned something up too quickly. Something happened to the car. Everything into that restart. Heck, again, Sean, I go back to last NASCAR Cup Series championship. Logano had no business winning anywhere near close to first place. He was not the best car, but you know what he did? He did everything like Jeremy Pienta just did. You never give up. You find success, and this is why you always race until that checkered flag is out. This is the moment where we saw Jeremy Pienta overtake Angel Delgado. Pienta, with such dominance here at the end, he found something between the high line and the low line to get the speed he needed. We talked about it with about 20 laps to go. What was he doing? He was trying to find it at 15 laps to go. What could he find? And this is the moment right here where Jeremy Pienta made history. He was able to take the lead from the best driver in the field all season long. And look, to Angel Delgado, you've become one of my favorite drivers. You're a great kid. You should be nothing but proud of yourself with how you have competed this entire season. You continue to take that, you build on it with your team in the offseason. As we head to bigger fields, we go from the Penny Pleasers Cup into the Overdrive Cup Series. This is going to be something else for you to continue to improve upon. This kid has a load of potential, and now as we are welcomed by your inaugural Penny Pleasers Cup champion, pop the champagne, Jeremy Pienta pulls it off in spectacular fashion. Your inaugural Penny Pleasers Cup champion. Jeremy, congratulations.
Thank you. It's awesome. I'm still speechless.
You sound like you're still in shock.
I am. I'm shaking.
Well done. All right, I gotta ask, because I know I want to ask Delgado this, and again, Angel has nothing to be ashamed of. He pulled off, and there we see on the camera. I mean, second place sucks. Love and support from the family. Absolutely crushed it. What did you find? Because I saw something on the last restart with 20 laps to go. I saw something there from you as opposed to Delgado. We know how good Delgado is on the restarts, but we're going to show it here on our monitors. So talk us through this moment. After the restart, you just kept gaining speed. I think Delgado may have done something to the car. What did you find between lap 20 and 15 in that 5-lap window that allowed you to find the speed to overtake what has been the best car of the last half season?
Yeah, well, obviously he's a great teammate. He gives me advice. I was mimicking his line and saw where I found speed and where there isn't speed, so that's ultimately how I had got him.
Oh, insane. Now, listen, I want to go back to the restart.
Yeah, right.
Did you just do something on that final restart that clicked for the car?
Probably
Because
changing
we're
the brake
watching it
pedal.
now. Delgado gets off. That just, again, it's like nitrous. It just flies off. But when we were looking at it live on the restart from the front, something to me popped out, and I said this to Sean, and Sean can attest to this. Something looked like you were just consistently getting faster and faster and faster, and then you found that momentum to overtake him. So what did you find on the restart?
Well, a lot of it came from my brake bias. I have a button on my steering wheel where I can adjust loose and tightness, so I was playing with that the whole time. And, just mimicking his line, finding clean air, not going in dirty air, and that's how I got him.
Real quick, before we get headed down to Angel Delgado's interview, Jeremy Pienta, oh my gosh, congratulations on your win here tonight. Once again,
Thanks,
before we
Sean.
get heading back down to P2, is there anybody who makes this possible, anybody that you'd like to thank here, not only for tonight, but throughout the whole season?
Also,
Well,
feel
I'd like
free
to thank all the
commentary
drivers.
team. You're welcome.
I think, the commentary team. I'd like to thank my parents for getting me this set up so I could race. I love it, and I use every penny that we spent on it. And thanks to all the drivers for showing up. Obviously, there wasn't many today, but hopefully there's more next season.
And your parents should be extremely proud of you. The Delgados also very proud of Angel.
Right.
There's no shame in it. I compared to what you did, what we saw from Joey Logano last season. I think he overtook Blaney for the lead with like 20 some odd laps to go, and you pulled off kind of the same exact thing. A driver who may have not had the best car all day, but when it mattered most, you were able to pull off getting to the lead, and you never looked back. Congratulations, Jeremy Pienta, your inaugural Penny Pleasers Cup champion.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the commentary the whole season. See you next season.
My pleasure. We're also joined by Christopher Rosca, who finishes on the podium in 3rd place. Mr. Rosca, now the infamous face cam, because we got what I called the Rosca cam. What happened at the end of that one? Because you looked like you had the second best car, and then turning Pienta, I'm like, okay, he's going for it. He wants it. He's got the beard working. He's feeling it. And then kind of talk us through, was there something that maybe broke on the car on the restart?
No, I had no tires. I had no turn in the center of the corner, no drive off the corner. I don't know what happened, but we put on fresh tires when we got that incident with Pienta, and put on fresh tires, and then the car just stopped driving. I had no push, no drive off the corner, no turn. Car just started plowing insanely hard. I had no setup changes, so I don't know what happened, if the track changed at all, but man.
Well, that's one of the things I was talking about with Sean, and that's just, it's more of how you go from a day race into a night race where a track change is going to affect things. I mean, again, from the incident with you and Pienta, there was no damage to the car. It was just, oops, I was going one way, you were going the other. There wasn't enough track, and one gets turned. It's not like anybody hit a wall. It's not like there was damage. But then, like you're saying, like no tires left was really tough to find any kind of momentum.
I had 2 sets of tires left in the pits. If there was another caution come out, I'd put new sets on. I don't know what happened with the set that I had on at the end, but friggin' just frustrating. At least bookend the season. Started the season with the podium at Daytona, end the season with the podium at Homestead. Kind of storybook almost, but we were so close, and the car just died. So we just gotta look forward to next season. Got some brand new paint schemes for me and for teammates, and 2 new drivers for next season for MRC. Bringing out a 5-car team next season, trying to go after the team championship as well.
Excellent. All right. Now we get to somebody that has made me a fan of him. He's taken his time. He's made his way over to the podium. We get to talk with arguably the best driver all season long, Angel Delgado. A frustrating loss for sure. But at the end of the day, you should be extremely proud of yourself. Multiple wins, a 2nd place finish in the championship, the best car of the day, and a lot to be grateful for. Angel, I'm not even gonna get into anything. What would you like to say to everybody out there?
First, I wanna start by saying congrats, Jeremy. I'm gonna start with that. This season was really fun. It was from start to finish really fun. Great commentary all season. Great races all season. So a very, very fun new experience for myself. Never really been a league person on iRacing, but a very, very good introduction to it, especially with the season I've had. So, second sucks. It really does, especially after the season I did have, but that's just more for me to learn for next season. So hopefully going into Overdrive Cup Series, we'll be back even stronger next season.
For sure, kind of like that. Go ahead, Sean. I'll leave it to you
real
next.
quick. I'd like to ask you, because I have never been too much into leagues myself in iRacing, kind of different ball game. First of all, I would like to ask you, how do you compare that to maybe the official races that happen? And secondly, do you know what NASCAR we're going to race here next season in the Overdrive Cup Series?
Well, compared to officials, a lot more calmer than officials, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, just the strategy, right?
Yeah, and when things happen, it's not like it's gonna kill your rating or anything. So I guess there's a little forgiveness there in terms of league versus officials. Like, not every 4X is gonna kill you. But I don't know what car we're running next year. I don't.
I think there was some votes. I think maybe Arco was a talk, or maybe Xfinity at one point, but we'll have to get with Hewling and Daniel for that information. Real quick, before Adam and I, for the last time this season, to catch our flights home, Angel, who do you have to thank that makes this all possible for you here tonight and throughout the whole season?
Well, first of all, Daniel, incredible team owner. 1-2 in the championship and team championship winners as a whole. It's been a fun ride these past couple of months with this team. Incredible teammates. My parents, without them I wouldn't be where I am. Shout out to my grandmother. Rest in peace, her soul. That was my my drive today was for her. So it would have been great to win the championship, but all in all, it's been a great season. And I'd like to thank everybody. Coney Setup Shop, Debbie, DL Designs, everybody. So just looking forward to more next season.
All right, I'm going to say something before we get into our final thoughts, Sean. For Angel, kind of like I was telling your dad in chat, I'm proud of you. Everything that you have done throughout this season to come from finding your way to being the class of the field, Second place sucks. No one ever likes to lose. But you should be 100% proud of yourself. You're going to sleep this off. It may sting for a bit, but you have such a bright future. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of Gienta. I'm proud of Roscoe. I'm proud of every single racer that I have had the honor, pleasure, and privilege to commentate for in this tournament. From racers that are here tonight to racers that have been here off and on throughout the entire season. And there are too many to name. But I am proud of every single one of you. Sean, my final thoughts are this. And then I will send this to you to close us out. Every single racer, you all should be extremely proud of yourselves. You put on one heck of a show. We have had insane viewership off and on all season. Our restreams, the views we get on live as well. So from live views to views that watch the VOD have been nothing short of outstanding. This has been outstanding to see from Harold Delgado to everyone else, from Denise, Gold, Hewlin, Daniel, everyone that is tuned in the chat every single week. To those of you that have watched off and on throughout the season, I am grateful to all of you. We are grateful, and I think I say this on behalf of Sean, his network, and all of us here. Thank you all, Penny Pleasers Cup. Thank you to Daniel. Thank you to Hewling for an outstanding inaugural season. We leave the Penny Pleasers Cup behind. We look forward to the Overdrive Cup Series. That'll be starting. We're going to take a couple-month break, but we will be back with the Overdrive Cup Series. Sean, take us home.
Nailed it again there. Once again, Adam, thank you everybody joining in on Stamp Studio Network tonight. Real quick, of course, like to shout out Jeremy Pienta, Angel Delgado, Christopher Rosca, Travis Farmer, Samuel Litchfield, rounding out that top 5, Jackson Brown, Riley Abanez, Sean Stam, Daniel Selway Jr., and Hewling the Bueling Cowser. Everything behind the scenes that those guys do, and you drivers on where you finished tonight. What a race, what a season. Of course, everybody there in YouTube land, once again, could not be doing this without you. Adam, I think it's time that we head through TSA and make our way to the airport for the final time at this inaugural season. My name's Sean Stam, got WX fan Adam up here in the booth with me. This has been a great, great season. Hopefully, we'll have it right there with you for season 2 in the Overdrive Cup Series. Sean Stam, WX fan Adam 21 signing off here for the final time, season 1. Have a great rest of your night.